Hello, my loves. I'm Savannah Joy, founder of Embrace Your Wild and the Feminine Intelligence Mastermind. I'm a mentor for 6 to 7 figure feminine leaders to unleash their voice, embody their feminine essence, and soften into juicy relationships with their king. I'm here with Lindsay, one of my beautiful, amazing clients, and so excited to spotlight her and her transformation today. Lindsay, thank you so much for doing this. So excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, I'm excited too to share all of what we've done and been working on.
So good. So, Lindsay, I'd love to just ask you right off the bat, what initially attracted you to working with me?
Probably the biggest thing that attracted me to working with you was really even just the name of your company and your website, Embrace Your Wild. And that's always been something that's really spoken to me. I met you at a time in my life when I had a new baby at home and a less than supportive partner in the matter, and was just feeling a lot of things through all of that. I saw that you were coming to my yoga studio and doing a workshop there, and saw the workshop and was like, yeah, this sounds like a good thing for me, talking about just receiving. Um, Moms have a hard time doing that sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I saw the workshop, went and checked out your website and just knew that you were going to be a good person to work with. I had no clue the extent to which our relationship would go, but knew that it was a good step.
Yeah. So beautiful. I know it's so awesome. So I remember in that first workshop that you attended, just you sharing your story about, what you were traversing with motherhood and your relationship and just all these changes in your life. And I just remember feeling like, God, I could so support this woman. And I just loved hearing your story. And then was so beautiful that we connected and we started talking about doing goddess photo shoot, empowerment, VIP day, and then that leading into you joining feminine intelligence. And like you said, the depth that I've been able to walk with you and support you in this period of your life has been just honestly so inspiring and so beautiful to witness. Just seeing your internal shifts and the way that you speak to yourself now, the way you hold yourself through these different challenges and shifts has just been so powerful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I'd love to hear you started kind of tapping into it, but a little bit more about what was your life like? Like, what was your relationship to yourself like before we started working together?
Think one of the things that called me to you in relation to how my life was before uh, was I've always felt my what I want, and felt what I feel like I need to do with societal expectations, with family, with religious expectations. I was taught almost not to trust what I wanted and what I felt. And so there was a lot of uncertainty around who I was, and okay, well, this is what I feel, but this is what I'm being told I should feel, or this is what I'm being told should keep me safe. And I'm not sure it does. So there's going to be huge shifts anytime you become a parent or any big major lifestyle change. And so, especially seeing my daughter, that inner feminist in me became a lot louder,
Yeah.
and I could not ignore her anymore. And, for my own sake and for the sake of my daughter, she needs better. I need better. We all need better.
Yeah, thank you. And I can feel the emotion around this for you. I think this is really what happens with a lot of women is we reach this breaking point, and whether it is having a child or going through a divorce or some sort of big transition, we kind of hit this wall of, the way that I've been operating is not going to be sustainable or is not going to be supportive enough for where I know that I'm headed or the version of me that I know I need to become. And that's what I'm hearing in you is this hitting that point of this isn't going to work anymore. Something needs to change, and really honoring you, listening to that knowing and doing something about it. I'd love to hear through our work together, like, where are you now? What are some of the biggest results that you've experienced through doing this work together?
I've found a lot more trust in myself, a lot more um, courage to move forward with the things that I know that I need and want for myself in this life. Probably one of the biggest shifts as I'm talking too is just realizing that I deserve what I want. And
Yes.
I don't have to be anything for anyone. There doesn't have to be any reason other than I want it to ask for something or to get it or to expect it. And so for much of my life, I felt a little uncomfortable with my success and feel like, okay, well, I have this and now what can I do for others with it? But to really be able to sit in it and say, no, this is for me. I worked hard for this and I don't have to share it. I can and I will, but it's for me.
Such a shift of needing to always be giving or doing for others and pulling back that energy and pouring it into yourself and feeling that worthiness of, I deserve this for me. I get this because I deserve it for me. And I also want to just acknowledge what you said before was growing up in and feeling confused about what I should do or shouldn't do, or what should make me happy, or what kind of emotions I can express or shouldn't express. And that's one of the things that I have loved getting to witness shift in you is this reclamation of your truth and your expression in all of the ways for you to now tune into yourself and say, yeah, this is what I'm feeling. Like I feel angry or I feel sad or I feel disappointed, and owning those emotions and not making it be a bad thing. And for you to really be so in touch with yourself now to the point where you know what kind of support you need, you know what kind of support you don't need, and being able to articulate that, you know, not only in your partnership, but with your family, with your friends, like, hey, this is the kind of support I'm needing right now. I don't need advice. I don't need this. Like, can you just celebrate with me? Or can you just remind me how powerful I am? And seeing you being able to articulate so clearly exactly what you're needing and feeling the confidence and the worthiness to express that has been one of the most beautiful shifts that I've witnessed in you.
Kim, even going back to your first question about like what first attracted me to you and on your website, and you had this beautiful video and the idea of like the feminine sacred rage, that part just stays in my brain all the time because I was always taught to be afraid of my anger or, you know, to suppress it, you know, be the bigger person or choose to be happy or any version of that. So I never knew what to do with those feelings. And I remember even as a child just being like, okay, but I'm not happy right now. What am I supposed to do with this? How do I change this? And never really learning this until adulthood to truly how to sit in the anger and how to sit in the fear and everything and just to sit with it and be okay with it. And yeah, finding these other parts of me, these other emotions that I didn't let myself really feel or would glaze over. It's given me a new vocabulary. It's given me a new attitude and outset at life. And it's changed so much.
So powerful. I'd love to hear, how has this impacted you, having this new vocabulary, having this ability to sit with your anger, sit with your fear, and know how to actually shift that energy and work with it instead of against it or suppress it. How else have you seen this new way of being with yourself affect your life?
One of the most recent things that I've noticed is interactions at work feel a little less awkward, a little more normal. There was so much that I didn't even realize tied up around image and how I wanted to be seen or how I should be seen or how I should act or any of those things. And I often felt pretty other from a lot of the people that I work with. And that's shifting now that I don't have to be a certain way or act a certain way. I can just be and I can express myself the way that is most appropriate to my feelings and not try to sugarcoat things. So that's been really big, even in relationships with my sister. She's been my best friend my whole life. And we were sharing some difficult things we were both going through a couple weeks ago. And she knows what I've been going through and said, oh, I don't want to bother you with this. And I could just tell her, hey, we're sisters. We've got this. And if I'm at a point when I can't help you in this way, I will love myself enough to tell you that. And she was really shocked to hear that. Like, she didn't even know it was an option. Like, oh, I
Wait,
guess I
what?
could do that. She said, okay, I'm glad that you feel like you can do that. And, she'll get there and everything else.
Yeah.
But
What
part of
a
that
beautiful
is showing
example
her
you
that
get.
it's an option that
Yeah.
never was before.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so much leadership that you get to demonstrate for your sister, for your mom, for your daughter, these new ways of being in the ways that you voice your needs and speak up for yourself and communicate in this feminine communication way from your heart, but from a place of truth and vulnerability, that you are being such a beautiful role model and example of leadership for all the women in your life. It's just such a beautiful example. Thank
From
you so
you.
much for sharing. Yeah, it's working. That's honestly one of my favorite things, is when I get to hear these examples from my clients of, I had this conversation and this came out of my mouth. I've never been able to say that before. And getting to see these examples and the ripple effect that it has. It's like with your sister being like, wait, that's an option? It's an option to just say that? Oh, what? But it's true. This work ripples out, and we get to just keep empowering the women in our lives and teaching people how to treat us and teaching other people new ways of how they could be treated. It's so beautiful.
Well, and even before I met you and becoming a mother and the process of being pregnant and delivering a baby and raising a daughter, all of those things too, I was just seeing all the ways that I was trying to advocate for myself. And I'm so glad that was a strong enough person then to be able to advocate, because so many people aren't. And just seeing in a larger scale the inequity around the feminine voice and everything, it makes me angry, and it makes me feel angry. And it
Mm-hmm.
makes me want to, speak on behalf of women and empower them and encourage them um, in every way, because we deserve better than what we've been given.
Yeah, I agree. And I think your passion and your experience makes you such a beautiful person to take that lead and to be that advocate. I would love if you feel called to share dreams and visions of stepping into a place of empowerment for other women, and if you want to share any of that.
Yeah. So I work in medicine. I'm a physician assistant. I've currently been working in the emergency room for 10 years, but seeing the inequities in the medical field around women, I just learned a couple years ago, and I've been in medicine for several decades now, but I just learned a couple years ago that research on pharmaceuticals what didn't include women, or didn't have to include women until like the late 80s.
What?
So these drugs that doctors are prescribing women every day have not been tested on them.
What?
And me as a provider didn't even know that. So how is anyone else going to know that? And I mean, that's unethical. And I understand the
Wow.
reasons around why they didn't include women. Also, though, there needs to be a way to work around that, because we are half of the population. So I think that was a big turning point for me. So I would like to provide better medical care for women. My dream is to one day have a clinic that can meet these needs for women, and really listen to them and help them listen to themselves. And I truly believe that a lot of chronic disease, particularly in women, is due in part because they're getting drugs that haven't been tested on people like them, in part because women are taught to suppress our feelings and be invisible. How is that not going to lead to chronic migraines? How is that not going to lead to chronic fatigue? So I really want to be there and listen to women and help them move through this. In my journey through fertility and pregnancy, I blended a lot of Western and Eastern medicine together, and I really hope to be able to bring that to a practice, because there's definitely benefits from both, and nobody has the answers, or at least all
Mm,
the answers.
yeah,
So,
not one modality or
right,
person has all the answers. Yeah, totally.
right, for sure.
So beautiful and so needed. Just that is exactly what women are craving and wanting, and that education. I had no idea about the
Yeah,
pharmaceuticals. That's
nobody
insane.
does. I didn't. Like, how did I
Yeah,
not learn that in med school?
right. We're just gonna not share that.
Right.
Oh my God, so good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being such a light on this planet. I can't wait to see this clinic come to life and to just see you continue to just step into your leadership and your truth and your passion and your desire to help others is so powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So I would love to hear if there's a woman sitting on the fence wanting to work with me, what would you say to her?
I mean, why are you still on the fence? Savannah's she's wonderful. She's so welcoming, so kind. She also call you on your bullshit in a loving way and let you know, hey, this is for your good. This is what you need. She just is able to really get to the heart of the matter. Remember, all of our one-on-ones are great, our individual appointments. But there's one in particular where we were at the periphery and, well, I feel this way about this and I feel this way about that. Why and why and why? And then we got deeper and finally got to like the crux of the matter. And you're just like, and that's what it is. And, able to at least find a part about why it's hard to receive, why I feel resistant against receiving, and just
Mm,
really help me understand the emotions, the things I'm going through. And once we understand them, we can love that part of us. And you're so good at teaching us how to love the different parts of us to move forward. So anywhere that you're stuck, you may not even know you're stuck. Although I think most of us, if we're honest, can admit we're stuck somewhere. Just really life changing. New
mm,
vocabulary, new you, new attitudes. Just it's a whole new everything. I'm so grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with you and to continue to work with you.
mm,
The amazing women that you bring in through the Feminine Intelligence Program is such an integral part of it. Being able to grow with other women, being able to share your most like naked emotions with other women that start off as strangers, realizing that there is a safe place in this world to share that part of us and to hold each other, realizing the power of witnessing where things don't have to be fixed. They can just be witnessed. And that's so powerful. Yeah, just I don't know. I can't say enough good. There's no reason not to work with you, not to work on yourself and just become a more empowered version.
mm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, sharing your experience. I think final question is if you could share a little about your experience about investing in yourself, because I know that sometimes this can be a barrier for women and to not feel worthy of investing in themselves. I'd love to hear your experience. How did you feel about the investment and getting into that place of saying yes?
So part of it was, sort of tiptoeing a little bit. Like the first time I met you was this yoga workshop. It was sub $100. It's like, okay, I can do that. And then looking at the website for the goddess photo shoot and saying, okay, well, this is more, but I already knew that was something I wanted to do. Okay, let's take this next step. Then moving when you invited me to join the feminine intelligence. Okay, well, this is a little bit more, but I already know what we've got and what we're working with. And I already believe in what she has to offer. And then, moving into the momentum program and, that was kind of getting up into a little bit of a little more uncomfortable level too, as far as like, oh wow. And we talked a lot about like, okay, what are your barriers to this? That's part of even just learning that I deserve what I want. And we spent time thinking about, okay, what do you really want? How do you want to be supported? And having that honest conversation, like, okay, let's do it. And, I shared with you the same day that I committed to join Momentum, and I got the bonus from work that I wasn't even expecting. You know, then a couple months or a couple weeks later, I had a long stretch of work and ended up making another big chunk of the money with overtime and holiday pay. And then, a few weeks later, yet again, I get another bonus, not expecting, and just so it's been pretty mind blowing to see the way the universe turns to me and can turn to any of us when we say, I want to prioritize me. I want to take care of myself. I deserve this. I want this. And the universe says, okay, I've been wanting to give this to you. And now, like, you decided. So let's give it to you. It's not to say that it'll work out in exactly that way for everyone, anyone, but the universe does know we deserve more, and it's okay to ask for it.
Yes. Be brave enough to ask for it. Yeah, the universe wants to give it to us. So good. And that actually really similar thing happened to one of our other women that re-enrolled and joined our phase 2 momentum program. It was like literally after she signed up, she also had 2 unexpected multi-thousand-dollar payments money come into her field. And it was just so fun to see that. It was just like, oh, look, guys, more money's just flowing in. It's so beautiful. You make that decision, you decide that you're worthy, and you get to see how supported you are in so many ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
You, the
Lindsay.
universe, the other women, the
Yeah.
way you react in other relationships. You really test the universe, and the universe is like, yeah.
Got you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Lindsay, thank you so much for sharing your story and your transformation and just your time and your energy. I love you so much. And it's been such a blessing getting to witness you and to walk beside you as you've done this work. Truly, truly mind blowing getting to see the changes that you've experienced. So thank you. I love you so much.
Thank you. Love you too.
And if any of you are watching and are curious about this work and feeling the pull to work together, just reach out and we can chat about it. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.